Hey guys, it's Matt with Andrus Distributing. Today we're going to be talking about permit books. What's in your permit book, what should be in your permit book, where you keep it in your truck, all of those things. I am pretty sure there's even a law that DOT says you got to be able to grab it, and just if they ask for it, you got to be able to just hand it to them. So today we're going to be talking about what's in there and what we need to be able to give to the DOT officer when they ask for it. So the first thing is a point of suggestion is where to keep your permit book. So I always keep it in the map pocket in the driver's side door. That way it's just right there. If you ever get pulled over at a jump scale or anything like that and they just come to your window and say, hey, can I see your permit book? You can just grab it and boom, right there. Give it to them. So that's where I recommend carrying it. Some people like to put it on the back of their seats in the little pocket back there, but just have it somewhere handy where you know where it is, you don't have to dig for it, and you can just give it to whoever needs it. So the first thing that's in there as far as permitting is your registration. So every vehicle has a registration. Our registration is good from March 31st to March 31st. So just annually, we renew them. Point of interest, they actually just stopped requiring stickers, the actual tabs, for commercial vehicles. So your next registration you'll get will just be a piece of paper. It won't be a piece of paper with a sticker on it that you have to physically put on the license plate. Another thing that you'll have is what's called our IFTA stickers. So we have a little slip of paper in the permit book that's the IFTA permit, and then you also have stickers, one that goes on either side of your cab as a visual indicator that yes, we have paid the IFTA for that truck. IFTA just stands for International Fuel Tax Agreement. It's just something that every truck has to have. IFTA expires annually, so at December 31st, it expires, and January 1st, there's a new IFTA. One other thing that you need is a quick reference card for your ELD. For us, it's the Qualcomm, and this is something that we have to be able to give to a DOT officer so that they can go into the Qualcomm and look at your hours of service. Because there's so many different kinds of ELDs, you have to have this so that the DOT officer can quickly find the information he's looking for. And it's generally a laminated card that we put right in the front of the permit book. It's required that we have paper logs. We have to keep at least 8 days worth of paper logs in the permit book so that we can be legal even if the Qualcomm stops working or something like that while you're out on the road. You're legal for 8 days to do paper logs, and that should give you enough time to get back to the shop to be able to get your Qualcomm fixed. So another thing that's really important is insurance. We do carry commercial insurance, and it's just a piece of paper that's again in your permit book, and that is an annual thing, and it goes from May 1st to May 1st. So you're covered from the 1st of May to the 1st of May. So just make sure you have that in your permit book. Another important one is that any piece of commercial equipment is required to have a DOT inspection annually. We do them in-house here, and it's a sheet that, we just go through and just double check everything, make sure it's in good working order, and it's safe to operate. And that's good for a year from the date that's noted on the sheet. So if it says June 1st, 2020, that means it's good until June 1st of 2021. Some other things that you'll notice in the truck that we also deal with licensing is your PrePass, which is the transponder that allows you to bypass way stations, and also the Easy Pass and Best Pass. So the Easy Pass and Best Pass are transponders that allow you to go through toll roads without having to physically pay. It just gets charged to our account, and then you're able to keep going. So any of our trucks, anytime you go through a toll road, just go through the pass lane and it'll pick up our transponder and then bill our account. So that's kind of nice that it just makes it a little easier so you don't have to stress about how much is the toll and do you have enough cash to pay it. One big thing is, so as we're talking about licensing, so I've just kind of gone over just the real basic licensing. So everything I've mentioned, every truck has in our fleet, but then different fleets have different permits as well. If you are a heavy haul fleet, you'll have overweight permit for different states that you run in. And if you have more questions about that, you can always contact licensing. I've just gone over the basics of what every truck has in their permit book. If you do have any questions, you can talk to myself, Matt, or my counterpart Dave. We both are in charge of licensing, and we could give you our phone numbers. My phone number is 208-533-6763, and Dave's is 208-533-6758. Either one of us can help you with any licensing questions or concerns that you might have. The last thing I just want to mention is just how often you should be looking through your permit book. I would recommend that every time you leave the yard, just break it open and see what you got and see if any of your permits are starting to come due. And chances are we generally order permits, registration, insurance, that kind of stuff anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks before it's actually due. And then we just put those permits in your mailboxes out in the shop so you can grab them anytime. So that's about it for a general overview of the permit book. Hopefully this was helpful.